Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Nicholas and this is Literally Graphic. And today we are taking a look at the graphic novel Bloom by Kevin Panetta and Savanna Ganucheau. This volume was published by First Second in 2019. And while there are certainly a minimum age at which point this story will not be interesting enough to retain the reader's interest, the story itself does not include anything offensive unless you're a homophobe. Homophobes might find this book triggering as it does include some queer relationships. One of the, quote, bad characters is a bit of a bully, but the plot arc is such that they get left behind and there's a pretty destructive fire. According to his website, Kevin Panetta is a Washington, D.C. based comic book and graphic novel writer. He has written licensed children's comics from Boom Studios. His first creator-owned series, Zodiac Star Force, debuted from Dark Horse Comics in August 2015. Savannah's website bio, written in the first person, says the following: I am a traditional and digital artist. I can draw comics, illustrate, storyboard, color, and paint. I am a very quick worker, and I am very flexible in my art. I am from New Orleans, and I have a BA in film from the University of New Orleans. I love film, comics, fine arts, and illustration. A cute, wholesome, and slow-burning romance, Bloom is a coming-of-age story about the son of a baker who wants to move from the small town to the big city. But in order to leave, he has to find a replacement for himself, and while interviewing new baking assistants, Ari finds himself more than he's looking for. As far as the art goes, it's nice. I am sadly a bit tired of the one color effect at this present point in time, but it is pulled off well. I had a modicum of difficulty telling some of the side characters apart, but overall I felt like the art and story worked together extremely well. As far as sexuality and gender are concerned, we get a pretty A+ performance. Certainly there's more diversity in sexuality than in gender, but there's certainly not a lot of traditional gender binary being preached in this book that features so much tender masculinity. Looking at race, while it's not really touched upon directly, there's a lot of diverse visual elements we attribute to the social construct of race, and the story seems to be taking a lot of inspiration from the stories of the children of immigrants. The only thing that comes close to ability versus disability is the focus on how Ari's father is getting too old to run the bakery. Does that count? You decide. Class is touched on a bit in the story in the fact that the bakery is not doing particularly well, and a lot of conversations revolve around what the central family can and cannot afford. This lack puts Ari in some conflict with other people in the story who don't have to worry about such things. Bye all, and keep reading and resist white supremacy. And as always, Literally Graphic is recorded on the traditional territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation and Anishinaabe people, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, and the Huron-Wendat Nation. I live here because of British colonization, Indigenous genocide, and more geographically specific, Treaty 13, also known as the Toronto Purchase, which was finalized in 1805 between representatives of the Crown and certain Mississauga peoples. This treaty was a lie and has since been broken many times over. Saying so reflects only my own small steps towards knowing the truth and does nothing for reconciliation.